Hi there! Good to see you again today. How was the previous lesson? I hope you find it very useful. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 basic sentence patterns. So just like last class or last lesson, this is just a review because I believe that you have already learned this in school, right? Okay, so I'll show you something. So here, can you see it clearly? So there are 5 basic sentence patterns in English. So these are, the first one, we have SIV. The second one, we have S+LV+SC. The third one, S+TV+DO. The fourth, S+TV+IO+DO. And the fifth one is S+TV+DO+OC. Don't worry, we'll discuss these patterns one by one. The first pattern is SIV. S stands for subject, this one, as you can see. And then IV stands for intransitive verb. As we all know, a subject is the person, place, thing, or idea that is doing something or being something. So it is discussed or described in a sentence. How about the IV or the intransitive verb? An intransitive verb is a verb that doesn't need any object to complete its meaning. And as you all know, an object is a person or thing receiving an action. So these are the example sentences. Example sentence number 1. I'm going to read. The boy runs fast. So the subject is the boy. So I put a red line underneath this phrase. Next, our intransitive verb is runs. It means it doesn't need any object. And then you can actually add adverbs. As you can see here, I added the adverb fast. But actually, you can remove fast. There we go. You can just put a period and then the sentence is complete. You can just say, the boy runs. So again, this is the SIV. Okay, the same thing. The second sentence, we have here, the train arrived early. So in this case, again, I put a red line underneath this phrase. We have here the train, which is your subject. Here we go. And then we have arrived, and it's your intransitive verb. And I just added an adverb to make the sentence a little longer and interesting. Okay? And to make it more specific as well. So here I put early, and of course, this is an adverb. So the same thing, you can also delete early like this. then you can just add a period, and then the sentence is still complete. Because again, intransitive verb doesn't need any object to complete its meaning. Is everything clear? So let's move on to our second pattern. So the second pattern is S, again, stands for subject. L stands for linking verb. And SC stands for subject complement. I already explained the subject a while ago, so let's proceed to the next one, which is the LV. So what is a linking verb? A linking verb is actually a word or phrase, just like here, that connects a subject and gives information about the subject. So they do not show any action. Next one, we have the subject complement or the SC. SC is a word or phrase that follows LV. And SC describes or identifies your subject. SC can be a noun, an adjective, an adverb, or a prepositional phrase. So I listed examples of linking verbs here on the board. So the most common linking verbs are the be verbs, such as, of course, the be. We have am, is, are, the past forms, was, and were. Other forms of linking verbs are the following. So these are just some, but there are actually more. So here we have look, seem, sound, smell, feel, taste, grow, become, get, stay, remain, keep, and turn. Again, these are just examples. So let's move on to our example sentences. These are the example sentences of pattern number 2, the S+LV+SC. The first sentence is, Aya is a student. Here, Aya is your subject. Is your linking verb. And your SC is actually a student. So let's identify if the SC is a noun, an adjective, a pronoun, or an adverb. So in this case, a student identifies Aya. So it is a noun. So again, the subject complement, which is a student, identifies Aya. So that's why your subject complement is a noun. Okay, let's try the second sentence. Yuki looks happy. So Yuki is your subject. Looks is your linking verb. And happy is your subject complement. So let's see. Happy, which is your subject complement, describes Yuki. So, your subject complement acts as an adjective. Again, your subject complement, which is happy, describes Yuki. So your subject complement is an adjective. The first one is your subject complement identifies Aya, meaning Aya and the student is equal, or it talks about the same person. Next one, we have the third. I and he. So I is your subject, am is your linking verb, and your SC is he. So in this case, your SC is a pronoun. Of course, because it is he, right? It's a subject pronoun. So in this case, SC identifies your subject I. So when something also identifies something or someone, so it is a pronoun, just like the noun. Okay, again, your SC, which is he, identifies your subject I, so your SC acts as a pronoun. Is it okay? Okay, let's move on to the fourth one, the last sentence. We have here, she is here. So she is your subject, is your, of course, linking verb, and then your SC is an adverb. So you can see it very clearly. Here is actually an adverb. So it talks about the location of your subject. Is everything clear? Let's move on to the next pattern. Okay, so the sentence pattern number 4 is S+TV+DO. S stands for subject, TV stands for transitive verb, and DO stands for direct object. So I will explain these two parts. Okay, transitive verb is the opposite of intransitive verb. I told you a while ago that intransitive verb doesn't need any object to complete its meaning. On the other hand, transitive verb is a verb that needs or requires an object to complete its meaning. So that's why we need a direct object. So what is a direct object? So direct object is actually someone or something that receives the action of the verb in a sentence. Okay, so I wrote some example sentences here. I have 3. So the first one, we have, my friends played basketball. So here, your subject is my friends. Your transitive verb or your TV is played. And of course, the one who receives the action, which is played, is actually your DO. And this is basketball. So it's very simple to identify the direct object in a sentence. So you just have to ask what or who. For example, my friends played what? What's the answer? So it's actually basketball, right? Again, you can use the question what. For example, my friends played what? Basketball. So basketball is your direct object. Second sentence, we have, I missed him. So I is your subject, miss is your transitive verb and him is your DO. So in this case, we can use the question who. I've mentioned a while ago that you can use the questions what or who, right? So we use what in the first sentence. Let's try the second one. It's like this. I miss who? So the answer is him. So that's your direct object. Okay, again, let's try that. I miss who? Him. Good. Now let's try the third one. So we have here, Saya cleans her room. Saya is your subject. Cleans is your transitive verb or your TV. And then her room is your DO. So let's try to test. Let's ask. Who or what? Obviously, it's what. So let's try. Saya cleans what? Okay, so the answer is her room. So her room is your direct object. In this sentence and in other sentences, you can actually add something. For example, I'm gonna add an adverb. So I'm gonna write it down. So we have here, maybe like this, and sorry, my handwriting seems terrible, but just bear with me. Okay, so you can actually add an adverb. So in this case, I put or added every day. But you can also remove that if you want, so it's still up to you. So the reason why I wanted to add a verb just to make the sentence more interesting and then longer and more specific as well. Okay, so is everything clear? Okay, now we finished the third pattern. We'll now go to the fourth one. Finally, fourth one! Okay, we have here the fourth pattern, which is S+TV+IO+DO. You already have an idea what subject, transitive verb, and DO are, right? So this time, I'll talk about the IO. So what is an IO? IO, or indirect object, is someone or something that gets the direct object. So you will know later. Yeah, as we go on to our sample sentences. Okay, so we have here the example sentences of the fourth pattern. So I wrote 2 examples. So let's try the first one. We have here, Tatsu gave me pink flowers. So in this sentence, Tatsu is your subject. Gave is your transitive verb or your TB. Me is your IO or indirect object. And pink flowers is your DO or direct object. So it's very easy to identify the DO and IO. So let's just use some questions. Remember that IO is someone or something that gets the direct object, right? So let's try. First, let's identify the direct object. And after, let's try the IO. So the first question is like this. Tatsu gave what? What's the answer? Of course, it's the pink flowers. So this is your DO. Next question. Who got the pink flowers? Again, who got the pink flowers? So what's the answer? It's me. So me here is the indirect object. Okay, let's try that again. Tatsu gave what? Pink flowers, your direct object. Second question, who got the pink flowers? It's me. It means it's your indirect object. Okay, let's try the second one. We have the sentence, she teaches her students English. So the same thing. Let's identify first. We have here she as your subject, teaches as your transitive verb, and her students is your, of course, indirect object, and then English is your direct object. So let's use the same questions. So first is to identify the direct object. Let's try this. She teaches what? So the answer is English. So that is your DO. Now, the second question is to identify the indirect object. Let's try this. Who got to learn English? What's the answer? Her students. So this is your indirect object. Okay, let's try that again as a review. So she teaches what? English, and English is your direct object. Then, who got to learn English? It's her students. So her students is your indirect object. Is everything clear? That's the last example. In addition, there are verbs that are commonly used in the fourth pattern, which is S+TV+IO+DO. So, the following verbs are used in this pattern. We have give, show, send, offer, award, buy, bring, teach, and lend. So you can memorize these verbs, and after memorizing, you can make sentences using pattern number 4. Isn't it easy? Now we will proceed to the last pattern. So we're on the fifth pattern, which is S+TV+DO+OC. I'm going to explain the OC, or the object complement. So an object complement follows direct object or DO to rename it or state what it has become. So we have here example sentences of pattern number 5. So I wrote 2. Let's focus first on the first one. We have, he always makes me happy. Here, he is your subject. Always is your adverb. So I just added this word. Next, makes is your transitive verb. Me is your DO. And happy is your OC. Okay, I told you a while ago that OC renames DO or states what DO has become. So it's like this. So you have to focus in this part. So we have here OC in this case is an adjective. So an OC can be an adjective. So this OC states what DO has become. Can you see the arrow? So it's me who feels happy. Like that. Next, we have the second one. They call me Han-Han. They is your subject. Call is your TV or your transitive verb. Me is your DO. And Han-Han is your OC. So I will put an arrow. Again, you have to focus on this part. So they are actually connected. So in this case, OC is a noun. Why? Because it renames your DO, which is me. That's all. Is everything clear? Okay. So, the following verbs are used in this pattern. We have make, force, order, see, hear, let, help, dare, get, consider, name, call, paint, catch, declare, find, and elect. These are just some verbs, and you can memorize them so that you can make correct and good sentences using the pattern S+TV+DO+OC. So now, let's practice. So I wrote 5 sentences on this board. Could you help me identify the sentence pattern of each of these sentences? Let's try the first one. I'm gonna read. I feel cold in the winter. So let's identify the subject. Where is the subject in this sentence? Of course, it's I. So I'll just put an S to make it short. Yeah, S stands for the subject. Okay, how about the next word? What do you think? We have here feel. Do you remember the linking verbs? Feel is one of the linking verbs. It means this is a linking verb. So I'll just put LV. Okay. Oh, how about the next word? We have here cold. Can you guess? So we have S+LV. So what is the next one? That's right. It's SC or the subject complement. And in this case, subject complement is an adjective. Yeah, it describes your subject, I. How about in the winter? So in the winter is just an added sentence. So we call this a prepositional phrase. So I'm gonna write. Maybe it will take a little long. Sorry. So funny. Sorry, my handwriting is a little messy. I hope you can understand. Wait for a while. It's hard to control the pen. Okay, let's try that again. It's prepositional phrase because it contains the preposition in. That's right. So again, in the first sentence, it's actually the second pattern, S+LV+SC. Okay, let's move on to the second one. So we have the sentence, Mia painted her room blue. So I think you can guess. Why? Because of the verb painted. Do you remember? So a while ago, I also showed you the list of verbs that can be used in sentence pattern number 5. So we have there paint as well. So in this case, Mia is your subject. Painted, is it intransitive verb or transitive verb? Of course, it's transitive verb. And then we have her room. So again, the verb will give you a clue, right? So the verb paint belongs to the fifth pattern, S+TV+DO+OC. So it means this is your DO and this is your OC, or your object complement. So your OC describes your DO. Now, let's try the third one. The old man left suddenly. Oh, it's so easy to identify. So the first, of course, this is your... Yes, that's right. This is your subject. The old man. And then we have here your adverb. And then how about this one? What kind of verb? Is it transitive or intransitive? Good. This is actually your intransitive verb. So again, intransitive verb doesn't need any object to complete its meaning. So I just added suddenly as an adverb. So the old man left suddenly. So you can remove this actually. And you can just say that the old man left. It's complete. So this is the first pattern, SIV. Next, the fourth one, we have the sentence, Hero took the money. Oh, it's so easy. So let's try. Hero is your subject. So remember the question? He took what? The money. So the money is your direct object. And how about to? What kind of verb? Is it transitive or intransitive? Transitive or intransitive? So this is, since we have a direct object, so this is a transitive verb. Okay, so we have here the first one. This is the second pattern. The second one, this is the fifth pattern. The third one is the first pattern. And how about the fourth one? This is the third pattern. So now, let's try the fifth sentence. We have here, my friend showed me her new dress. So of course, my friend is your subject. We have showed. What do you think? And we have here me and her new dress. So let's try to identify each. So my friend showed what? Remember that question? It's the direct object, right? So here. My friend showed what? My friend showed her new dress. And then, to whom? This is me. So this is your indirect object. So we have the showed. Of course, this is your transitive verb. So S+TV+IO+DO. Okay, so let's review again. The first one, we have the pattern, subject, linking verb, subject complement. Next, the second sentence, subject, transitive verb, direct object, and your object complement. The third, subject and intransitive verb. The fourth, subject, transitive verb, and direct object. And the last one, subject, transitive verb, indirect object, and direct object. So, that's all. Thank you for helping me today, and thank you so much for listening. So I hope you've learned a lot, and I hope that you can use these sentence patterns when you make sentences, especially when you make good and correct ones. Okay, so you just have to remember or familiarize the pattern. So see you again, and have a great day. Bye!